So engagement acceptance as well as continuance. So when accepting or continuing an engagement, service auditor must follow specific guidelines to ensure that the firm is competent, capable of handling the client's relationship appropriately. This process ensures that the service auditor can deliver quality work and maintain ethical standards. And with this, in the future, we'll likely start talking about, independency. Like you have to be independent so as to avoid any conflict of interest. And I believe you all must have been watching videos or had watched the videos on high trust and how serious that can be, right? The firm must ensure it has the necessary knowledge, time, and resources to carry out the examination. The service auditor must be confident in their ability to perform the engagement effectively. Do you see? Make sure you have necessary knowledge, time, and resources to carry out the examination. So it's not about telling UST that, oh, we cannot do this. What if UST actually met all the criteria? Do you have enough resources? What of the time are you knowledgeable enough to carry out such assessment? Say, for example, if USC needs a SOC 2 examination, the auditor must ensure they have enough staff, time, expertise in cybersecurity audits to conduct the examination. That makes sense, right? Compliance with legal and ethical requirements. The firm must also confirm that the external auditor or organization that it can meet all legal as well as ethical obligations, including independence from the clients and adherence to professional standards. Very, very important. Say, for example, the auditor must ensure there's no conflict of interest with the UST and they can maintain their objectivity during the examination. I will say that they want a situation where that organization help you design your system and everything, and then they have to perform a set assessment. Literally, they're assessing their own work, so you want to be careful. I would say that shortly. And this is a big thing, even when we went through high trust that you guys saw, right? This is not just something that, again, you just carry out and say, it doesn't work that way, right? So independence is something that is huge. And remember, like this many a time, annual assessment, you don't want to get a company that, you guys have that business relationship going on. So apparently that might not be trustworthy. And remember, you have thousands, hundreds of users, entities relying, to have this accurate report, and why this is very, very important. Okay. What of client integrity? The service auditor must assess whether the client, that's USD, has a good reputation and high ethical standards. The auditor should not accept an engagement if they have concern about the integrity of the client. Are you that type of a client that one can just go just and Google and they'll have a lot of negative stuff, bad reputation about you? And that's why you going there to authorize and issue that report is an issue also, right? And that's why I said they have to also check client integrity. Because again, remember, we are talking about data, we are talking about customer trust, the most valuable asset, right? So you don't want to go to a company, they are believing in you, and then things are so there's a lot of BS going on. Right. And that's why I said if the auditor finds that USD has been involved in fraudulent activities, they may choose not to proceed with the examination. Okay. But of course, UST, we are very, very transparent. We don't do that. Okay. I'm just using UST as an example for you guys to see. Ethical standard and independence. The service auditor must ensure that there are no issues with independence or ethical conflict before continuing an engagement. Say, for example, the auditor must confirm that they are not financially or personally connected to UST. So their judgment remains unbiased. You see, nothing to avoid conflict of interest. Okay. Likewise, competence of engagement team. The team working on the examination must collectively have the appropriate skills and experience for the engagement. The auditor must ensure that the team has experience in two type 2 examinations, particularly in areas like data security as well as privacy. This is important. Then talking about quality control requirement for engagement, continuance, precondition for the attestation engagement, precondition. Auditors must confirm that all the conditions for conducting an attestation engagement, such as having access to the necessary information, are being met. And remember, we discussed that earlier on the part of the management responsibility. If they need to have access to your internal report, audit logs, and all those, they make sure they can definitely get access to those reports. And that's why service auditors will need to make sure that all of these criteria have been met. Okay. Auditors may ensure they have all the access needed to UST system and controls to be able to conduct a thorough examination. Okay. What of understanding the engagement term? Service auditor must clearly understand the terms of the engagement and ensure both parties align on responsibility and reporting expectation. MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. UST and the auditor must agree on what will be included in the final report, such as detailed on security control and system requirement. Very important. And that report will have to tell you a carve-out method was used or an inclusive method was being used. Okay. So those are the things that, again, as I said, memorandum of understanding, you will understand this is what we're going to be doing, right? And that's why we want to eliminate the need of any conflict of interest, because once there's that conflict of interest, then we can't really 100% trust that report. But talking about client integrity validation, before even accepting an engagement, the service auditors evaluate the integrity of UST. This includes constraining factors such as reputation of the client's management and ownership, right? The auditor looks at the reputation and background of UST key management and owners to ensure they have a positive track record. You see, reputation and background of UST key management and owners, right? Top 4, they also have a positive track of records. Realistic expectation. The auditor must also assess whether UST have reasonable expectation about the result of the examination and whether they can handle the potential consequences of the report, includes issue with the controls. Because at the end of the day, you see, can you accept, once I'm done, can you say, yes, I accept this report? Or are you giving me stuff and expecting to receive something else in as much as your controls are really bad? Then you want me to say that no, all your controls are effective? No, it doesn't work that way, or they're operational. And that's why they said UST has reasonable expectation about the result of the examination, whether they can handle. Can you all handle the consequences, the potential consequences? Like, that's why we talk of realistic. Are you all even realistic with that report and with yourself? So if UST is expecting a clean SOC 2 report that has significant controls issues, the auditor may choose not to proceed. Do you see? You want a clean report, but it's clear. It's very, very clear that your controls have issues. How do you expect me to give you a clean report with everything you have? And that, again, determines or relies on the auditors to determine if they want to proceed or not. If the auditor has concern about UST integrity or the potential negative impact on the client, if the report is qualified, they may decide to decline the engagement. So if the auditor believes that UST is not prepared for the examination or might try to manipulate the report or the result, they may choose not to continue with the examination. So do you see? This makes sense. So, but what have we discussed so far? It says that a service auditor must ensure they have the necessary skill, resources, and ethical standing to accept and continue the engagement. The auditors must assess the integrity of the client and ensure there are legal, ethical, and competency standards. Clear terms and expectations must be established between the auditor and the client to ensure transparency and manual understanding. Then let's go now to the next video where we'll talk about the independence in the service auditor engagement. Okay. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video. Remember, do not forget to like, subscribe, share, put whatever comment section you have, and I will see you all in the next video.